Hello there. If you're looking to procure industry-compliant medical or hazardous waste services for any public sector organisation in the UK, including for the NHS, then you're in the right place. Let's get into it. In order to procure your medical and hazardous waste services through Crown Commercial Service, you can use the Building Cleaning Services Dynamic Purchasing System, or DPS for short, which we're going to talk about today. We are going to cover the what, who, where, why and how for using the Building Cleaning Services Dynamic Purchasing System to procure all the medical and hazardous waste services that you need. If you want to skip ahead to any particular section, then please feel free to do so. So to start us off, what is it? Essentially, it's a way of procuring one or more of the following services: medical and hazardous waste services, a range of routine and specialist cleaning services, and delivery and performance assessment services that relate to cleaning and waste management. Essentially, the Building Cleaning Services DPS is a route to market to source all your medical and hazardous waste service needs. What sets it apart from other procurement options, such as going through an OG process, are its key features. So firstly, it has a range of pre-appointed suppliers who've already gone through some basic due diligence checks and who are ready to provide the waste services you require. Secondly, it has a catalogue of standardised public sector contract terms for you to choose from. This saves you needing to create your own contract from scratch, and together this means that it's ready for you to conduct a mini competition to source your waste services. In terms of who will be providing those services, we have around 15 industry-compliant, pre-appointed suppliers so far at time of recording. These are made up of a mix of SMEs and larger suppliers. This means that both local and national contracts are catered for and there is a good level of competition. Part of what makes this a dynamic purchasing system is that suppliers can apply to join at any time. For you, the buyer, this means that if there are any particular suppliers you'd like included in your competition, you can ask them to apply. For example, this could be an incumbent supplier that serves you well currently, or maybe suppliers that are local to you. Who can use it? The answer to that is any UK public sector organisation, so central government, wider public sector and the third sector. This of course includes the health sector. Essentially any organisation that uses public sector money, and it does indeed cover England, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. Next up, why use it? Very good question. There are several answers to that. First up, it's a big one, is that CCS has a proven track record of delivering commercial benefits to its customers. Not only is this from cost savings, it's also from procuring higher quality services, both of which combined mean better value for money for your organisation. This is driven by the competition between the suppliers. The next reason is that all our commercial agreements ensure that you're compliant with public sector procurement regulations, so it's one less thing to worry about. All of our commercial agreements have pre-agreed contract terms. This means that you don't need to spend time and money creating contracts from scratch. All suppliers pre-agree to the contract terms when they apply. You can have confidence that the suppliers on our commercial agreements have passed a certain level of due diligence. For example, suppliers have to pass a financial assessment, provide proof of insurance, and provide a reference from a previous customer. I'm glad to tell you that we can often provide procurement support, particularly for those public sector organisations that don't have much experience in procurement. For example, we can provide you with advice on running your procurement and support with writing a requirement specification and other tender documentation. This is combined with the commercial expertise on our team from people who have operational and procurement experience in the industry. The final reason, as I'll mention, is that as opposed to other waste agreements, the DPS has a flexible design. In practice, it means that you get exactly the service and service structure you want. You don't have to shoehorn your requirements into any predetermined structure, and as mentioned previously, its flexible design means that suppliers can apply to join at any time. So in summary, the reasons why you should use the Building Cleaning Services DPS to procure your medical and hazardous waste services are commercial benefits, compliance, ease of use, available support and flexibility of use. It's worth noting here that it is free to use. Next up, how does it work? Here is a list of the main documentation you need to complete in order to run your procurement. Any procurement needs this documentation, but we try to make it easier. We have a series of best practice templates available, so you only have the key details to input, and there's the support that myself and the team can provide as well. First up, the requirement specification outlines what your organisation wants. It encompasses the who you are, what you want, where it needs doing, when it needs doing, and how you'd like it doing. It's the main document that tells suppliers what you require. About the competition tells suppliers about your procurement, timelines, contract duration, and details like that. How to bid tells suppliers what they need to do in order to bid, so things like which procurement tool you've chosen and how their responses will be scored. The pricing matrix allows suppliers to tell you how much the services they can provide will cost, and you can structure this in any way you want. And finally, there is a menu of contract terms for you to choose from and complete. You only need the contract terms that are relevant to your requirements. Regardless of whether this is your first, second or 50th procurement, you're not alone in completing this documentation and running the procurement. We have a variety of guidance available to help you along the way, and you have the support from myself and the team if you need it. So once you've got your documentation in order, here is the process to follow, depicted in the beautiful chart in front of us. Starting with the first piece of the puzzle, you log into the DPS system and navigate to the set of medical and hazardous waste filters. You then tick the location filters that apply to your procurement. In this example, let's say you're looking for suppliers that serve all of North, South and West Yorkshire. When you scroll down and click the big green button, this creates a short list of suppliers who can deliver the service you require in the locations you require. In this example, as you can see, there are 11 suppliers at time of recording who serve the areas I ticked. Don't worry though, experience shows us that not all suppliers will necessarily bid, yet it will provide you with a good number of bids to give you a meaningful competition. You can take a single filter or any combination of filters depending on what you need, and you can then export the supplier contact list. Next up, shown in the grey, you issue a call for competition to those suppliers you've just shortlisted using your preferred online procurement tool or CCS's free e-sourcing tool. Next, shown in the blue, interested suppliers will submit their responses within the timeline you've outlined. And then, shown in the gold, you're able to evaluate and score the supplier's responses. We can often provide support and training to you and your team on the evaluation stage if needed. And looking at the last piece of the puzzle, you're then able to award the highest scoring supplier. Our customer guidance provides all the detail on the end-to-end process, as well as how to access the DPS system and our free online e-sourcing procurement tool. So now we've talked about the wonders of the Building Cleaning Services DPS, how is it that you get started on your medical and hazardous waste procurement journey? Well, the first thing to do is to complete our customer user agreement. This gives us some basic information about your upcoming procurement and introduces you so we can offer support if needed. Next, you can start to bring together your tender documentation. Your requirement specification is a great place to start. Make sure to check out our bid pack templates on our Building Cleaning Services webpage. And of course, please do contact us for more information or for any help, and a member of the team will be in touch. To make a start, please do visit our webpage. The address is on the screen. From here, you can access all of the documentation mentioned throughout this video. For queries or support, just email info@crowncommercial.gov.uk, quoting RM6130 Building Cleaning Services and mention waste, and we will get back to you. Thank you so much for listening.